What's up, guys? So a little disclaimer here before we start this video. My audio is very bad. It is very rough in this video. For the first around 15 minutes or so, it's okay, but then it starts to get really echoey and it almost becomes unwatchable. And it's a little awkward when me and Matt are talking. There's a lot of awkward pauses. So I edited it to the best of my abilities, so my voice was cut out as much as possible. You're gonna hear it every time, or every now and then, and I apologize sincerely if it sounds bad, but Matt's still talking. Luckily, he did most of it, but yeah, try your best to enjoy the episode. Again, apologies for the bad audio.
A lot's happened in the wrestling world recently. A lot of big time things happening this week. And the biggest news of all, no, not the heel turn, not two new champions. Matthew Warmus is back.
Welcome to WrestleMania, the podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell.
Yes, you heard me correctly. WrestleMan, the podcast, is back, and Matthew Warmus is back for the first time in a while, live and in living color instead of the pre-taped predictions videos here. As obvious, I did a shorter video reacting to the Cena Heel Turn, but I wanted to get a little more in depth with it with Matt as well to see what we all think about the road to WrestleMania. So let's bring him on here now, Matthew Warmus. Matt, how we doing?
I'm okay. I've been hearing you making fun of me and shit.
Oh, no.
I don't know, maybe because I'm going downtown to my classes and clinicals. That's why I'm fucking tired.
The shit talking me and Troy have been doing, it's backfiring now.
Yeah. I'll make sure I put on a smile next time.
But hey, you bring ratings. Matt Warmus always brings ratings, and he's always the predictions king for some reason. So
You're damn right.
Except the chamber, though. I got Bianca right. You didn't. You picked Roxanne, and yeah,
that still wasn't the right choice. Especially considering Io won the women's world title on Monday right afterwards.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit, but we obviously got to talk about the big elephant in the room. That's the biggest heel turn, arguably, since Hogan. Cena, Rock, and Travis Scott, for some weird reason, is an alliance now. Apparently, yes, John Cena in 2025 is a bad guy. What world are we in? I discussed it on the shorter video, but at best, it was speculation that, like, oh, maybe it'll be Cena that sells his soul. But mostly it was deflected with, it's his last year. Why would he do that? He's as over as ever. So when we saw that, if anyone saw the live video and just the live streams throughout, it was stunned disbelief. But for the first time, you get to hear Matt's reaction. Matt, what did you think about this?
So I've been busy. So I didn't see Cena. Just joking. I was expecting it to happen at WrestleMania. I was texting you and the rest of the guys and all that, and I pretty much thought that it was going to be Cena to turn on Cody at WrestleMania, whereas like Rock would hand Cody the chair, but Cody would say, "No, I'm not doing that." For Cena to only grab it and hit Cody with it, and then kind of like how Austin did it to The Rock.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. But no, they apparently did a chamber, and I'm not sure if this is a credible source or anything like that, but I did hear something on Instagram where Cena was actually supposed to turn at Mania, but they decided to do it at Chamber instead. So technically I was right. but yeah, I mean it's weird. I have a crazy idea for WrestleMania. I don't even know if you want to. Do you want to hear it right now?
Why not? Why not? It's WrestleMania season.
So I have a feeling this is what I think is going to happen. Cena is going to end up winning the World Championship at WrestleMania. Wins his 17th. And because of that, Cena's now going to be a good guy. Because he fulfilled his promises of becoming a 17-time world champion. That's what was best for business. He broke the record and everything. He could say he did it one last time. But only for Cody to be pissed off.
Oh.
And Cody just beats the shit out of Cena after the match. So they do a whole Bret Hart, Stone Cold switcheroo. So we'll get Homelander Cody chasing after the championship that he feels like he got screwed out of, for only Cena to be like, "Oh, I wish the best. I'm sorry this happened." For Cody to just beat the shit out of him because he feels like he was robbed of the match. So I have a feeling that will happen. If not, it's fine. But I just had a crazy thought in my mind. But you heard it here first. So if it happens, just think of me again. So yeah. I watched the pay-per-view with my mom. But my mom's saying she saw it coming. I don't understand how she saw it coming, but consider she's not a huge wrestling fan or whatever, but she loves Cena and all that. So we did like the part. I can't for the life of me understand why they had to have Travis Scott in the coming out with The Rock. Okay.
And that man gave Cody a black eye. Did you see the slap he gave him?
The Travis Scott coming out, if he were to like rap for The Rock to just come out and all that, just like a special entrance, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Him coming in the ring, shaking hands with everyone, that's fine. But when this whole promo segment happened, Travis Scott should have got the fuck out of the ring. He probably didn't even remember how to get out of the ring. That's probably why he was just in the fucking corner staging it up.
Fucking pretty much.
Smoking and shit, yeah. He probably forgot. He probably didn't probably know where he was at, and he probably didn't know how to get out of the ring. But if the cameras wouldn't have like picked him up, that would have been completely fine. Because like I wasn't really paying attention to Travis Scott at this point, but I'm not sure if you were able to like see Travis Scott's facial expression or anything when Cena attacked Cody or whatever. Or I wasn't paying attention to it, but I don't know. I don't even know if they even were showing his face, if he even had any emotions or anything. Nor do I care. But yeah, and then for Travis Scott to just smack the shit out of Cody in the ear and everything, it erupted his eardrum, from what I heard.
Yeah, it did.
And it gave him a black eye, which on Friday Night SmackDown, you could tell he had a black eye. So, and I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's going to get his receipt." Travis Scott's going to. Cody should give Travis Scott.
He's getting it.
That ain't gonna happen. Travis Scott's not a wrestler.
He's training to be one. The Rock said he's training to be one. Don't say
really.
That. Apparently, that's what The Rock said at the press conference.
Oh boy.
Maybe Travis Scott versus Bad Bunny, baby. Let's go. The Power
That's the case. I hope Bad Bunny beats the bitch ass.
We all root for Bad Bunny.
Yeah, but I know people were saying, regardless of him training and all that, like, if he was not going to train or anything like that, Cody's not going to get his receipt by attacking Travis Scott. Travis Scott is a rapper. He is not, I mean, he shouldn't have done that in the first place. But like we said, he was high as fuck, so he probably just was doing what. I mean, I was watching it. I'm just like, get out of the fucking ring and all that. It was so bad. And then he just like, I remember him just holding on to Cody's arm, just pulling it. I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to do? He was like pulling on his arm for like 2 minutes. I'm like, you're ruining this moment. But I mean, if Cody were to actually hit Travis Scott, I feel like that'd be a real bad thing because I feel like Travis Scott would then retaliate and, you know, lawyers might get involved and shit. So, I mean, it was something that happened. All you got to do is like tell him, hey, that's not what we do. They don't actually hit him in the face, you know, or don't go football. I mean, like you said, if he is training to wrestle, that's different. But I mean,
it didn't bother me as much as you. It was just more funny for me, being like, "Oh, look at Travis Scott getting to be in the ring with two of the biggest stars and one of the biggest moments." I feel like he's like with them what Dennis Rodman was to the NWO, kind of like a celebrity type of guy, maybe a celebrity type of bad guy. I don't think he'll be there all the time with Cena and Rock, but just for like celebrity endorsement, he's a big time rapper. He's got a lot of fans.
Or like David Arquette as world champ.
Oh God. They ain't that dumb. Maybe AEW will put a title
Hey,
on
Travis
him
Scott is already a
WWE.
champion. He's the hardcore champion.
Oh God.
The title he came out with.
Everyone's coming out with belts now for some reason. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the turn itself, I said it before, it's definitely the biggest since Hogan. A lot of people want to say, is it as big as Hogan? I think it's too early to say that because Hogan started the whole Monday Night Wars. It started the NWO. Like we're a week into Cena's heel turn. He's not going to show up till like the Raw, not even this next week's Raw, but the following week. So we don't know. But I would say it's definitely the biggest since Hogan's because it's over 20 years. I think there's like a world record of just like how long Cena lasts as a babyface. He broke the Guinness World Record for that. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. So good for you. I don't think we're gonna get that record broken ever again. But besides the weird ass celebrity cameo, as perfect of a moment as you could get. I mean, and I like that they changed it from WrestleMania to the Chamber because, for one, the build needed more hype. I feel like Cena turning heel definitely builds up that hype. The ticket sales will go up for a Cody Cena build with Cena as a bad guy for the first time in 20 years. And I feel like if he would have been going babyface at Mania and then pulled Austin McMahon at Mania 17, you're risking like upsetting and pissing off a lot of people like that are like diehard Cena fans, and he like sells his soul to win his 17th rather than winning as a good guy. I mean, it would have been a great moment regardless, but I think they made the right move here. There were a bunch of rumors. You spoke about the originally going to do WrestleMania rumor. I don't know if you heard a bunch of these rumors. I don't know if they're true, but like apparently The Rock wanted Cody to go heel. He rejected it. So Cena was the backup plan. But then I heard stuff that like Cena's heel turn was planned for like 6 months. So I don't know what the fuck's true anymore.
Yeah. I also heard that Cody refused to face against The Rock, to wrestle against The Rock. That was another rumor I heard.
Which I find that hard to believe. So there's always so much you can trust. Like, don't take everything face value, but I mean, it's just out there. Who knows? I feel like every time WrestleMania's around, a bunch of rumors got to start spreading about weird stuff. But I think this was perfect. I think this is way better than just Cody Rock. I think this is so much better. A heel Cena going for 17th in his last year as a bad guy for a main event.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I feel like it's flipped. Now the adults are going to cheer for Cena, and the women and children are going to boo him instead of the other way around.
Here's the thing. I feel like children are still going to cheer for Cena, if I'm being honest. If you're that much of a diehard.
Cody.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it both ways. I mean, if you're smart enough, like with the women, like they should realize, okay, well, he's only doing this to get one last title reign, to have one more world title. So yeah, I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm still gonna root for Cena, because I know, like, if he does win the title, everything will go back to normal and everything, and as for the children, I mean, they're young, they don't understand, so.
Well, everyone, I always tease where it's like, oh, children are so heartbroken by this. Like, they never even saw Cena in his prime. These little kids. What, you see his Hollywood movies? You saw him as Peacemaker, where he's also a heel. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I hate it, man. He killed Rick Flag.
I will say, poor R-Truth, man. That man's going through a lot. I can't imagine what he's going through. I hope Cena doesn't, kill him the next time he appears.
I think I saw him post immediately right after. He's just like, now let's not jump to conclusions. We gotta see what happened. Like, what do you mean? You do not see what Cena just did?
Man, this childhood hero. But I think I remember. I think I texted you guys this, and I mentioned it on the video that originally I was like, I'm leaning towards Cody retaining. I want to pull back on that and say I still don't know what they're gonna do until WrestleMania. I'm not gonna guarantee anymore. Oh, Cody's not losing. There's a big chance of it. But I remember when I texted that, you're just like, you're out of your mind. But I think you can argue both ways. I think honestly, people are saying, I get the argument that Cena's heel turn's a waste if he loses. I kind of disagree with that statement. I think if Cody could beat Cena, imagine a heel Cena overcoming the odds with The Rock, and maybe he gets a little bit of help from a little rattlesnake there that lives in Nevada. I'm just saying that'd be one of the biggest pops if you thought last year's was big. So I think there's a possibility, but it could go either way.
Did you hear a rumor about a tag match?
Yeah, I heard about this.
With Stone Cold Steve Austin and Cody Rhodes against The Rock and Cena.
Oh my God.
I would love that. Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin going up against each other. That'd be the only fucking time it would ever happen. But
that made Punk jealous, because you know how much he wanted to face him over the years. But if they do a repeat of last year, like a main event tag match, night 1, night 2's the title match.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, because if Stone Cold Steve Austin can perform like how he did against Kevin Owens, he's willing to be there, he's willing to wrestle, I don't see why not. Yeah. It gets The Rock to wrestle again, and it's also a tag match. Austin, like I said, tag match, so it's, they don't have to get winded or anything that much. I mean, they would still need to train and all that. But, I would love that, to see Cena go against Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring. I wouldn't expect that to ever happen. And this would be this would be the only time it could happen. And now I agree with you saying that Austin versus CM Punk, yes, I think that's another thing that we all would love to have. Maybe SummerSlam. But, God. Why not? But I'd be super down for that. And not only that, but another big thing. Ticket sales, advertisement for that would make WrestleMania much watchable. People are going to watch way more to say, hey, Austin and Rock are going again in a tag match at WrestleMania. And Cena's teaming with The Rock. Cena's going against Austin. And Cody's there.
Okay, so like I said, this is the point in the video where the audio starts to get really bad. So again, apologies for some awkward cuts and turns in the conversation, but we will do the best that we can.
But yeah, it would definitely bring in a lot of viewers, especially a lot of older viewers, if you were to do that. Yeah, I'm not saying it's happening. It's a rumor. It was like a quick thing I saw on Instagram. It could be whatever, but I just thought of the idea of being like, I would love for this to happen. Because marketing wise, it's good for WWE, and it's also good for the fans. And good for the people that go to WrestleMania. Unlike us.
Not this year.
My next year is in Orlando, and I did talk to Ian.
It's in New Orleans. What are you talking about?
Isn't that?
You said Orlando.
Oh, my bad. New Orleans. That's what I meant. I talked to my best friend Ian, our friend. He would be down to be in New Orleans because he loves jazz and he likes jazz music. So
I hope he survives.
I said, yeah, I said, would you be down to go? He's like, yeah. So maybe next year. I'm not saying we are going, but see, this was never on the cards for me of what I thought was going to happen whatsoever. I thought I went with my pick for Roxanne Perez for Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble. She should have won it. I don't care what anyone says. She should have won it. She's definitely getting called up. I think I've been hearing that she's getting called up after Mania. It would have made sense because there wasn't that many heels on Raw or anything like that. So bringing up Roxanne, having her go up against Rhea would have been nice. Would have been more likely for Rhea to retain. Roxanne would have definitely been the underdog in that, but because you could have had Roxanne and Tiffy as champion at Mania, two women that were just in NXT like within the last 2 years, holding down the brand. But no, I think they might be doing Roxanne versus Bayley at Mania now. I think it's a rumor or whatever, possibly. But yeah, Bianca was definitely not on the list. Alexa would have been my second choice just because of the fact that she wasn't doing anything. She just came back. She technically was on SmackDown, and I get they've been teasing her to join White Six, but she wasn't really doing anything. And then Bianca and Naomi from SmackDown thought Jade was going to face Bianca at WrestleMania. But I guess that either they're saving that for the following year, or I don't see them doing that at SummerSlam. I feel like that's a WrestleMania match. So I feel like if they play it longer, maybe they will have it the following year at Mania. It wasn't going to be Liv, considering Rhea and Liv had just been fighting so many times. Now, it could have been Liv had we known that Io was going to win the title.
Maybe.
And if it was them two or that triple threat, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I was not expecting Bianca. I was also not expecting Naomi to face Jade Cargill at Mania whatsoever. To me, that doesn't sound as appealing as a WrestleMania match. That might be just me. But
We mean Naomi did homage to Rikishi. I did it for you. I did it for the Rock.
I know. I saw that. But yeah, Io winning it, I was just like, what? what the fuck's going on? I feel like they had no idea what they were gonna do with it. Like, I don't think this triple threat was planned at all. I feel like
Well, I
it
think
just.
they wanted to get Io on the card.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I mean, she could have been in like Intercontinental title match against Lyra or something like that, and I'm happy for her to win. This was like nowhere near the direction I thought they were gonna go with, and to be honest, I feel like this was kind of like a last minute decision type stuff. One of the best ones was Eddie Guerrero winning the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar. And that moment is iconic. So I mean, and the crowd reacted really great to it. I wasn't upset with it. I like Io, and I was happy for her. Now, but the thing is that okay, Io's gonna retain now at Mania, right? Unless Bianca wins and turns heel. I don't know what they're gonna go with this. I mean, especially considering Io just won it, I don't see her losing it at Mania. Was she gonna hold it for like what, like not even 30 days or so? Don't you dare do my Io Sky like that. Treat her like Nakamura. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for her. I was so confused. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but you know, I'm fine with it. I hope things go well. If they do the triple threat, I assume they're going to have 2 triple threats at Mania then, because with Seth, Roman, and Punk. Unless they just do. No, it has to be a triple threat.
Yeah, it has to be
So-
Roman.
Yeah, because you have to have Roman there and Steel Cage. Yeah,
It's
once they announced that on Monday, I was just like, ah. It's like, okay. And it's in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, okay, he's coming back. Good decision for LA Knight to win. I've been hearing Aleister Black might be returning. So I think they could have done that to where Aleister Black faces LA Knight at Mania. And Black might win the title, which I'd be completely fine with, I guess. Because if you were to do that, you wouldn't be doing that with Nakamura. I picked LA Knight to. Well, did I? I'm not even sure. Did I have LA Knight to win at Survivor Series? I'm pretty sure I had him to retain. I did, but I think it was like a whole shenanigans thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like Nakamura would get a rematch. Putting that title up, like raising the prestigious. Like he was being the new.
Why did he lose it?
I mean, I get because he can't be the champion forever. So, I mean, like when Cena was U.S. champion, it's kind of like the whole thing where he dropped it to Seth Rollins just so that way Seth could be the first ever world and U.S. champion. The next month, he dropped the U.S. title. The next pay-per-view. To back to Cena. Exactly. So, but in that case, it was more of like a whole history-making thing at SummerSlam. So that's the difference. And Seth also had to wrestle two matches that night. But I was fine with Nakamura winning the title. Here's the thing. I don't know. Every time Nakamura is champion, he's not on television. And that really derails not only his character, but like his momentum for people to care. Because all of his U.S. title reigns, all of his Intercontinental title reigns, didn't he win the tag title?
I think it was
Cesaro, yeah. I thought they did. I think that was the only one where it was kind of like maybe he was there, but NXT, I'm not counting NXT. He was good in NXT. My thing is that I think what it is that considering he's from Japan, he has to like keep going back and forth from Japan to US. I don't know if it's like a visa issue or whatever it is, but it has been since like probably like 2018. Because I believe that's when he won the first US title, was 2018 at Extreme Rules, because I was there. But yeah, ever since that, like anytime he's champion, he's not on television. He's not there. And he's not defending the title. And it's like we might not even see him for like 2 months or so. Then he shows up to have one title match. Then he's gone for another couple weeks. And then he's back to defend it and like lose it or something like that. I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. Like I like Nakamura, but like if this is like such an issue, I don't see why he should even still be employed with WWE at this point. I mean, granted, he might be happy with it. It might be happy with Nakamura and everything like that. But I mean, this is something that fans have been complaining since 2018 about Nakamura. Now, I get that there was also some circumstances that just recently happened for Nakamura. I'm not sure if you heard that his brother passed.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
So that's the reason why he came back and dropped the title and everything, because his brother, and that could have been why he was gone a little bit for this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's understandable. I'm not going to get on the guy for that. That is his brother. He needs to be at home in Japan. He probably wasn't on television for the simple fact that he was probably there for his brother for the last couple weeks or so, spending time or whatever. I don't know all the situation, and he doesn't have to explain it or whatever. So I understand with that happening, I can understand. And for him, they probably had him come back, have the match, drop the title. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone for a bit again, because he's going back down from what I heard. So it sucks. But I mean, this is like, other than that, it's like the 5th, 6th time where he's been champion and he's just not around. And it sucks because fans really gave a shit about him. And I did too. And now it's gone to the point where he's like, to me, on the Braun Strowman levels of I don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh, no.
Because he had the one gimmick where when he was facing Seth, he had when the whole Triple H era started and he came back, he was cutting a lot of those Japan promos, and he was doing good. He didn't win the world title. He was losing. He was gone again. And then he came back, leading up to Survivor Series with the new gimmick, and he won the title. So he's looking up good for him again. And then now this happened. I mean, it's almost like when someone else like gets like injury prone, and they just keep getting injured after being injured. For example, Tegan Knox. I mean, I feel like she was a promising wrestler.
Yeah.
And she had 2-3 injuries back to back to back. And it destroyed her momentum, and to the point where fans couldn't care anymore because she wasn't on television. And it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault at all. I mean, injuries happen, but it just was so. It sucked, and they let her go. And it was more like not probably because it was just because of budget cuts or the fact they don't like her. It was more like just because, hey, you keep getting injured. We can't have you here. We you're just gonna if you get injured again, and you're on the shelf again, why would we resign you if you're just gonna be on the shelf, or something like that? He's becoming the new Dolph Ziggler. He's becoming the new Dolph Ziggler, except he's not showing up as much. Yeah.
Don't tell Troy.
But yeah, I mean, voice crack. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate them or anything like that. It's just, it's just bad timing and everything, For example, I think Cora Jade just recently from like NXT got hurt again. And it's nothing too big, thank God, because they were thinking it was her knee or whatever. But no, apparently she got her head rocked. She said, but she's fine. In my head, I'm just like, man, she's really talented. If she would have gotten legit hurt again, that would have been the third time. She's gone injured twice now in NXT. Yeah. That's why they're best friends. Drew was saying to Punk how he was 6 months due an injury, so was Cora Jade. One of his daughters. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, you can't do nothing about it, but it's just like, you gotta think from like a business standpoint too. If stuff like that happens, it sucks. You try to make the best of things, but so Nakamura, if he, after all this is said and done, when he comes back, I hope that if he does come back to WWE, I'm hoping that he stays. And I get that he might want to travel back to Japan here and there and all that stuff. But I mean, he's got it. Like, if he's going to become champion again, he needs to be on television. I mean, it's like he's on SmackDown. It's one day a week. Unless he goes to NXT for some fucking reason. But to win the North American title. but yeah, I mean, like, I get you want to keep traveling back and forth home, and I get that from wherever they're at, going to Japan, I get it. It's like probably a long flight. I'm assuming he's flying. But I'm sure like it takes a lot of time for that to happen and everything. But I mean, they need to I don't think they'll ever give him the world title just because of that. Because if he's not there, why would you give him the world championship? Wait, Randy Orton returned? I don't remember that from Chambers. I remember Cena turning heel. Yeah, I enjoyed it. My mom's not huge on hardcore wrestling stuff, so my mom was like trying not to watch it. And then she's also a huge Randy fan. So, like, when Randy came out, I'm like, Mom, it's Randy! Randy! And so, yeah, I mean, I think we knew Orton was coming back for the match against Kevin Owens. I'm happy he's back.
He's bringing the punk kick back. Which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, I hope so. And he can also punt kick Travis Scott's skull for him ruining the goddamn last segment. I think he's supposed to face Karrion Kross at Mania. I'm pretty sure that's what the report. That's why he's gonna wrestle. Yeah, I mean, Orton doesn't need to be at WrestleMania, but you kind of would want him to be on the WrestleMania card. So, Sammy, I feel like I feel like it don't matter with for Sammy at this point. Well, there's another thing they could possibly do. They could possibly do like a Intercontinental ladder match. Sammy could be in it. Special ref. Sami Zayn is a special ref at WrestleMania. What do you? He's not like Seth Rollins. Oh man, he's gonna be the special enforcer. So he can Helluva kick Orton and turn heel and join Kevin. Maybe heel Kevin and Sammy again. Put Sami Zayn back as the conspiracy theorist again. That shit was hilarious. I don't know, because I believe, I could be wrong. Did they announce that they were doing a draft after Mania? Or that's a rumor? I think so.
I think it's going to happen after Mania.
So here's the thing. I don't know if he can wrestle against anyone or if it's just specifically to a brand. I would assume that if he does win the championship, which I believe so, I would assume that he'd be able to go on Raw or SmackDown whenever, because he's John Cena. He can, hell, I'd be fine with Cena going down to NXT. I actually have that as one of my predictions for Cena is him going down to NXT for the first time and like become an NXT champion and all that. Joe Hendry. But yeah, I mean, I do see Cena going to NXT just to like wrestle against younger talent that are not on the main roster yet, that he won't be able to wrestle when they get called up like next year or whatever, providing that Cena retires. I'm assuming that he is retired. I don't think I know some people were saying that, oh, what if it's just a ruse and he's not actually retired at all? He's gonna go on a Triple H power trip. But I see Cena going to NXT at some point. Regardless. I could see if he's champion, I want to say he would be losing the world champion at SummerSlam. If not, if Cena does not lose if he loses the title prior to that, I could see Cena winning the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. I feel like his two main goals is 17 world title and becoming Grand Slam champion by winning the Intercontinental title. So I could see if Cena wins it, but like say drops it at Money in the Bank. I could see Braun Breaker beating Sheamus. Well, actually, no, I could see Sheamus beating Braun Breaker, and we could have Sheamus versus Cena one last time for the Intercontinental title. Cena beats Sheamus. I definitely see Breaker as being one of the wrestlers that Cena will face as a younger talent. I feel like that is a must when it comes to wrestlers that he has never wrestled off against. I still see Gunter versus Cena, maybe somewhere down the line. Maybe Bash in Berlin. Yeah, so I mean, I see Orton being his last match against. Because if you're not gonna have Orton Cena at Mania, Orton's gonna be his last match. I think that's kind of a given. And from what I did hear, I'm not sure if it's a rumor or not, but I heard that they're planning a pay-per-view in December, and it's pretty much a whole thing for Cena. Yeah, Ruthless Aggression. And it's supposed to be, I don't know how late in December it is, but I would assume that might be his last match there.
Yeah, that would be it.
So we'll have Orton for Cena at that. I think that's the most likely of everything I just said. Punk Cena, Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
Cena drops the title. Cena drops the title to Punk. And then Cena then goes to focus on fighting to win the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. I think that would make sense. That kind of would make sense now that I'm thinking about it, because you could have like a whole turn back the time thing, you know? I don't know. I don't see Rock Cena happening again. I don't see it happening again. I feel like that kind of stayed its course. I mean, he's working with Rock. I mean, they might fight and like end it there. But I don't see a match happening. Definitely R-Truth. I think that definitely has to happen within the coming weeks. Why don't you take little Jimmy and go home? No.
All right, so we wrapped up the episode around there, but again, I was talking for most of the outro, so this will be the real outro. Thank you guys again for always tuning in. I will have a shorter video this week. Another disclaimer, this was before Monday Night Raw. Whether this comes out tonight, before Raw or after Raw, I don't know what's happening yet, but I will have a shorter video this week talking about it. So have a good week, guys.